Welcome. Hello, I'm so happy to be back here again, and today I'm bringing a topic about free will. Everyone who says that free will doesn't exist, all these people are basing their statement that every single action that we take, it's already influenced by our minds. It's influenced either consciously or subconsciously, and we may not even think we are influenced to take that short instead of the other short, to buy one instead of the other one. But a few days ago you saw an advertisement, you didn't even see that advertisement, but your subconscious mind picked that up on that advertisement, and that's why in the shop, in the store, you're picking up that t-shirt and you think that's free will, and that's not free will. So people who say that free will does not exist, they base on this type of explanations that no matter what decision we're taking, we are constantly influenced by our past, by ideas planted into our minds subconsciously or consciously, by our thoughts, our dreams, our futures. So this side, free will doesn't exist. And no matter if you go to YouTube and open any type of video that says that free will doesn't exist, they're gonna be bringing this explanations that it's based because no choice is free, everything is influenced. That's absolutely right and 100% true. But we are living in a duality, and there is another 100% true reality. This is God. When God is aware, there is no experience happening. I already talked about it in another video about time, space, thought, and all these teachings. God is there, it's everything. This ball actually doesn't have boundary, but I'm just drawing it as a boundary, as a ball, so we can understand that this is God. But God is everything, and it's aware. When you are aware, you are not experiencing. You are not in the flow. You are not realizing things. You are not learning. You are not evolving. Okay? So what God did, God said, let me create a division, mitosis, the cell that suddenly and created a second cell, célula in Spanish. Okay, this is the mitosis principle. From one cell, second happened. So God decided, okay, let me create an outwards movement. And obviously, if there is an outwards movement, it's because there is also an inwards movement. So the moment that this mitosis happened, it's the moment that God created duality. As long as we are not God, we are living by the duality laws. And we are not God until we we get enlightened and we realize who we are and we become God. And when I say enlightened, it doesn't mean that light is starting pouring on you. It means that yes, you start seeing all the light. Light enters through you fully. You become all the light that exists. So you become enlightened, plus you become the same thing where light comes from. Light comes from the void. The order, God is in the void. God is in the void. God created light, which is, by the way, light, it's it's Lucifer, the light bearer. It's this light is this energy that comes out to project. It's this hologram that we are living of this whole world. It's an illusion. Okay, and then shadows come from there. Like, shadows doesn't exist without light. Anyways, I think I'm going like a little bit on the sides, but these are like main principles to take in mind before talking about free will, because it all comes from here. So light and shadows, shadow exists as long as there is light. Okay? And light came from the void. So light is not anyways, there is no good or bad, but that's another topic. Why God would want to create this separation, this option of experience and not being aware, because if you're aware you're God, you're not aware you're experiencing, right? It's two-side movements. The moment you become aware, this enlightened yogis, monks, Tibetan monks and everything, what they're doing is that they're becoming aware. The more aware you're learning to be, you are coming, it's the movement of coming back to the source. Flowing in the now, it's the other movement, which is the feminine. It's the now, it's the experiencing. You're not aware there. So we have these two polarities, and I'm asking you, if you think that free will doesn't exist, why would God create something, a whole different principle of experiencing? So that choice on deciding to drop the awareness aside and surrender into further expansion and experience, that's free will. If God has free will and each one of us has the potential to become God, by default, we all have free will. And now here is when I am going to explain you from which perspective we do not have free will and from which perspective we do have free will. God, okay? It's like, it's vast. This is one side. Then we have the three levels: mind, body, okay? God, which is soul. This is like already soul. Body, mind, and soul. They are going, when it goes this direction, is the direction of constant creation. This direction is the entropy of constant chaos. Nature has this movement. Okay? So this way, it's the creation. It's the free will God had in order for that first cell to separate. When we want to come back to source, all the monks, how do they do that? From the physical body, they are starting to mastering the mind, because that's the way, soul, mind, body. We are here in the body. When we are flowing, we're using our body, and sometimes we even lose our sense of sense. We are using our body to become the dance, not the dancer. Anyways, monks, what do? They want to self-realize themselves. How do they do that? By training their awareness, their constant awareness in every single action they're doing. So they're mastering the mind. So this movement from body to mind, it's this side. It's this other side of polarity where we are engaging our awareness. This is unbelievable. No matter which pen I use, they just stop working. Some people, they have watches stop working on them or technology or something. For me, it's pens. I don't know what to do. It's back to working. Awareness. Every single decision that you take doesn't have any free will. You are coming back to God. You are coming back to this absolute awareness of everything. There is no experiencing at all in there. So yes, every decision that you are taking and you are thinking about that decision, every time you think about your past or you are influenced about the past, every time you are dreaming about your future or you are influenced by your goals and ambitions and all the decisions that are influenced by your expectations, all of that, you don't have free will. You are thinking which t-shirt to pick up from the store, you do not have free will there. Because chances are very high that you were already subconsciously influenced to which t-shirt pick up, to which colors to like, to to listen certain type of music and not the other one, because the radios or the store you're getting in, they're playing the same songs and music styles on a loop. Anyway, so you are thinking that way. You are your values are changing and getting aligned to whatever fashion they're pushing, and all of this is happening subconsciously. There is no free will there. There is no free will. Don't find it there. There is no. But that's 100% real. Okay? But because this is duality, and we are living in the duality world, there's a whole another flip side of the coin. The other side, it's not that one goes, this is like positive and negative. This is like dualities. There is no right and wrong. That's why you also have to drop the ideas that doing this is right and doing that is wrong. It all depends on the perspective, always. Oh, and plus everything comes from source. You can adjust source. Like, who are you? Source yourself. So in the end, you have the rights to do whatever you want. Good, bad, you yourself label what is what. As long as I'm just touching on another topic. If you have any questions and you want me to go deeper into something, just let me know in the comments. When you are in this energy of experiencing, because I was asked this question, give me at least one action of mine that I did that was completely on free will. That was a free will decision that I took. And here comes the paradox. It's not a decision that you take. The decision is not deciding between two things. It's when you stop engaging your mind. As how I said, it's becoming the dance, not the dancer, not thinking of the steps. It's just surrendering fully to the point that you are the dance. You don't know what is happening. There is no mind in there. It's just divine flow. And the decision to surrender, that's the free will. When I was with Sri Yantra, this is the example that I brought. When I sat with the Sri Yantra to do my meditation, I did think about, okay, I'm gonna sit, okay, what am I gonna do next? Maybe I should do this. I'm having this intuition messages coming to me. Okay, then I will engage this way. And then I started singing to the Sri Yantra. And then at one moment, I entered into certain trance. Like, I decided to start singing and I started singing. This is not free will. But at one moment, when I was already in the trance, there was happening a trance, so my mind was getting already disconnected. At that moment, I had the free choice whether to fully surrender or not. And I fully surrendered. I closed my eyes. It did not come through a thinking. It came through a full surrender. And I just entered into trance. I don't know what happened there. I was like, the moment I came back to myself and I opened my eyes and the singing's finished and all of that, it was like, wow, I came back to my body. It was not me. I was not body anymore. I was this flow of nature. That's free will. And we all have free will. That's how we have free will. People usually that say that we don't have free will, those are the souls that usually do not take the full responsibility of their lives and their own decisions. And they sometimes fall into the belief, they forget that they have this ability to be source and God themselves. Just remember, God had this free will to divide, to create this division of mitosis, to this duplication, and to experience in one, to surrender in order to duplicate and further duplicate into a million other forms, and each form different in their own form, so you can experience. And we all come from God. We all have that God particle within us. So we all have the chance of free will. Assume that there is free will and you have the capability to be God yourself. So now, what do you do with that? If everything is possible, you need to balance both things. You need to go through the path of awareness and mastering your mind, because mind is above your body. mind is closer to the source, the awareness, you cannot be using the powers of God and master your reality unless you start mastering your mind. And then find the balance between surrendering and just flowing, because there's different types of learnings and teachings that you can get just from surrendering and just going with the flow. And then you balance them both. And now here comes, when you are able to balance them both, the duality dissolves and you have the creative power of God, of source. You always have free will, because we are humans, we feel emotions. Emotions, it's a feeling, it's a body. Feeling, it's the outwards movement of constant creation farther. Free will in there is that whenever we have an emotion, you have the free will whether think about the emotion, mentalize it, intellectualize it, or experience it. That's the first free will you have there. Second free will you have there, whenever you decide to experience an emotion, that emotion, every emotion we have, comes from, engages our heart. Our heart is duality. So our scope of emotions are always within duality. You are always free to choose how to interpret one emotion that you're feeling. What can that emotion make you? You can feel one emotion negative, and you yourself can transmute it into something that's God power. You can transmute it into something productive rather than destructive. The way you filter that emotion and experience that emotion when you are in the flow, because emotions are already in the flow, you have there, you already surrendered in order to feel an emotion. The way you feel the emotion once you're surrendered, that's free will, because there is a duality there that you don't even recognize, and you're falling into one or another one. Also, I liked to mention how free will is this choice of surrendering into further creation. It's also the choice, the surrendering, it's the forgetting where we come from. Because if we remember, awareness, it's remember who we are and where we come from. So free will, it's actually the free choice of forgetting who we are or remembering. That's it. When you experience something bad, do you choose to remember it or to let it go and forget it? That's the free will. Right there. Just remember that you are God. In the end, everything is about balance. The whole mastering of anything, of any reality that you choose to believe in and live, it's all about balancing both directions, both polarities, mastering them both. So you need to go into the darkness and find the light there. And then you need to go to the light and see the darkness there. Namaste.